because we have a really special guest on the show today. She's sitting here like a lady in waiting, or shall I say a MILF in waiting. It is Anne Marie Scheffler. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Amy. I'm
You
so
got a
happy to
ship
be here.
horn. I'm excited. Okay, so Anne
I
Marie.
did.
She got a ship horn. Anne Marie got a Scheffler ship horn. First time on the show. Comedian extraordinaire, actress, apparently classically trained, such as myself. It's so rare to meet another classically trained actress in the field, you know? Don't you feel, Anne Marie, that when you
You
go
know,
out into the field, you stumble across an actress is a dime a dozen, but a
it's true.
classically trained
Oh,
actress is hard to find.
it's so true, Amy. It truly is. It truly is. We need to be here in this business, and we're doing anything, including going to theater school where they break you down and treat you like shit. I don't know if that happened to you, but that's what happened to me.
Absolutely. They
Yes.
stole my Midwest accent and told me to
Yes.
never let it see the light of day again. But guess
Yes.
what?
It's your money maker, baby.
It's still there. I'm so excited to meet you. And we have got to talk about your amazing show because, obviously, what goes hand in hand with Housewives and Bravo TV is a MILF. Okay. And if those of you don't know what a MILF is, Anne Marie, why don't you take us on a stroll of what a MILF is and what your show is all about, your live show. Tell me.
God love you, Amy, for asking me all these great questions. Well, MILF stands for mother. I'd like to fuck.
Beep.
So, beep. And so I have a show called MILF Life Crisis. And because I thought that was fucking funny, because I went through a divorce, I needed to have a funny show. And I changed the acronym from Mother I'd Like to Fuck to Mothers Are Incredible, Lovely, and Fantastic. And so that's my show.
Empowering.
So,
Empowering.
totally.
But
Yeah.
also mothers that you do want to, mothers can still
Yes.
be beep.
That's right. You get to be sexy, but it's your show. You're calling yourself a MILF, and you're incredible, lovely, and fantastic with your friends who are also like that.
I love it. So you were basically taking back the term.
Yes. Yes. Take back the term. It's true. I felt like you come up out of your classically trained foundation of your career, and then you go into the world, and it's all a man's world, and you're like, well, how do I get the job? I better be very good looking and maybe have a cleavage, and then after a while you're like, you know what, how about I decide what the rules are? So
so when you do is your show like a stand-up show, or you're performing different characters? Is it more like a one woman? What is the vibe?
Right. So it's a one-woman show, but it's very much like stand-up meets Second City or meets sketch, right? So it's almost like, well, it's a one-woman show, and it's like I talk to the audience 90 minutes. I'm coming to the studio at Meisner Park, by the way, in Boca Raton. I am in West Palm Beach right now, by the way. These are things I should say to you, Amy. I should
please
tell
do.
you.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm so happy because Stephanie over at the studio at Meisner Park hooked us up, which I'm so excited about, because what a crowd that showed up in Boca for my cabaret me. And just a lovely area, a lovely group of people who I think are just wanting some amazing entertainment. And how perfect that this is happening very soon. This is going to be on May 13th. Is that your show?
Correct.
The show date?
Also, Saturday, May 13th at the studio at Meisner Park in Boca Raton. It's Mother's Day Eve. Do you understand this? It's Mother's Day Eve. And the greatest thing, right? And I said to Stephanie, who I adore, and she's a very hot MILF herself, and her kids are a little younger than mine. And she's like, she wants to turn the studio at Meisner Park into a little more younger crowds, and so bring in the MILFs. It's the land of the MILFs. Boca Raton is the land of the MILFs. And the best part is like, it is, right? And it's like these gorgeous women, and there's vinos, and there's the yard house, and it's like, let's just drink and hit on men, laugh at MILF Life Crisis. You're a MILF, be a MILF, And I've said to Stephanie, we got to do it every year. It's got to be an annual. We all go to Boca Raton. We all go to the studio at Meisner Park. And
the pilgrimage.
Mother's Day Eve.
So
yeah.
You wrote this show. How long have you been touring this show?
What year is it? I'm just kidding. I've been touring it since I opened it in 2000. Look, there's the signage. Self-promotion, Anne-Marie.
I love
it. So I wrote it in 2015, and I've been touring it across Canada and the US since then.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Kind of got stopped by a little thing called the pandemic, but
yes. And now you're up and running again. And and now what's interesting is that there's a show called MILF Manor. Is this on TLC? Because I have not seen this.
I think I'm not sure what it might be, but it's called MILF Manor. And of course, since I'm the MILF lady, everybody's like, Anne-Marie, and then sends me the links to it. And it's like, okay, I got to watch this thing. There's a crazy twist. Am I allowed to give it away? I don't know.
MILF Manor? Sure.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. If you don't want to know, turn the channel.
If you don't, that's right. So you get these gorgeous women, and I point as myself when I say that. But I want
of course.
Okay. I was going to ask you about the makeup stuff later, Amy, but it doesn't matter. So the point is, you get this, you get these women who are like, see, this is the thing about the MILFs, right? You're divorced. Now you're maybe, and you might be north of 40, but you're still sexy, baby. You're still sexy. So the idea is that they're like, come on, we'll grab all these gorgeous north of 35, north of 40 MILFs. We'll put them on an island or in a resort in Mexico. And so they're all like this, I don't know, 16 of them there, whatever. And then they're going to reveal the 16 good-looking men. It's their sons.
Oh.
Creepy, eh? But fabulous. But creepy, but fabulous. But creepy, but fabulous.
And then what happens? Are you saying that they swap with they start dating each other's sons?
Yes, pretty much. So that's why I had to watch the whole thing and binge watch it in like 2 nights. So.
Oh my God. Are you kidding? Okay. I did not know this was the concept. That is so weird. I mean, because you're basically like sacrificing your son so you can be with another. Okay. Oh my God. This is jaw drop. This is way more polarizing than I expected it to be.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So are you single now?
I am single now.
And well, you don't have
why either.
You don't have a grown son, right? You wouldn't do this.
I would. Oh my God. I couldn't do the show. I have a 16-year-old son and an 18-year-old son, and they are, 6 feet tall, and they're gorgeous. And their father, my ex-husband, is gorgeous. So I can see the reality of it happening. Like if they did approach me, I'd have to go, let me think about it. because
so you might potentially in a few years potentially do it.
maybe, but I'm a classically trained actress, Amy.
So you don't want to, right? I understand. You can throw that out the window. We got to work. You got to work. Right. You got to work. So, being in the single lane right now, does that inform your show? Do you talk a little bit about, being single?
Oh my God, do I talk a little bit about it? That's all I talk about. So it's like I tell you, Tinder dates and like all the fucking things you do when you're. So it's literally a MILF's journey, if you will.
Yes.
The hero's journey. It's a MILF's journey because I take you on this beautiful watching a woman go through what I did. Right, comedy is great when it's authentic and it comes from lived experience. And so that really kind of happened to me where didn't want to be divorced, and there was a divorce, and all of a sudden I had to get back into having sex again, and
right,
mistaking sex and love and thinking maybe you'll try to get back together with your ex. Maybe you're supposed to date that guy you dated 10 years ago. Maybe you got to go back to him. And then of course the endless bad, crazy Tinder date stories that are fucking crazy, man. And when I get off the stage, the women go, that happened to me too, or that's my life, or like you're doing my life.
Wow. Oh
yeah.
My God.
Because it's weird. It's different, right? When you already have your children, like I say in this show, I don't have to hurry up and have my kids. I have my kids, and you come from it. I came back from New York City a whole new woman. That you come back, or do you? Right. So really on stage, it's me and Kendra, who's like having sex. These are my characters, Kendra and Terry. And Terry's like, no nonsense. And she's like, you don't need a man to save you. And Kendra's like, Anne-Marie, you're a have fun. And she's like egging me on to have, lots of sex. And this is what you're watching. And so when when the people
The
see my,
people.
the people
Yes.
in the audience see the show, they're like, oh, I'm a Kendra. She's our Kendra. And so, it's
Oh,
sort of
that's
like,
so funny. Yes.
you see
Now,
where
are
I'm going?
you, I do see where you're going because it's different sides of different characters of personalities, of course. And are you dating any younger men now? Do you like to date younger
Oh
men?
my
Is that your
God.
preference?
Okay, here's the best story. Okay, preferences. Oh, okay, we're going to preferences. But I'll tell you one thing. This is so crazy because the studio at Meisner Park has a Vino's right beside, like there's all these bars, all these single men and women and drinking. That's what Stephanie, she's like, oh my God, that's where the divorcees hang out. And she's mentioning all the bars, and we saw it today. It's like there's a Vino's because there's a Vino's in Encino that me and my MILF Squad LA like to hang out at. And
oh, okay.
I
This
may or
is
may
good.
not.
This is good information.
That's
Everyone in
right.
LA listening?
Am I plugging?
Venus.
And so
Okay, got it.
there's a few bars we like to go to, my MILF Squad, and we're all like, I may sometimes pick up a younger man. I may do that. And there's actually a sequel to MILF Life Crisis called MILF and Cookies. And I kind of play out that scene in that, because, you live your life and then you turn it into comedy gold. Isn't that what it's for? Amy?
Good for you. Good for you. I love the idea of just like MILF hotspots, in different parts of the country. And if like there should be, a hub or a meeting place
like
online where MILFs come together and just, corner the market on what will empower them and where and how. Because it's so interesting. There's always just this whole midlife crisis thing that happens with men that is so wildly acceptable. It's an excuse. It's something that they're allowed to get away with by treating their spouse or their partner or whomever they're with poorly. And not that I think that women should level the playing field by being equally as terrible.
Right.
But I do think that there something in me comes alive when when I do hear that roles are reversed and like a Margaret Joseph situation. And not that I want her ex-husband to be hurt, that she cheated on her husband and then like she left him and all this stuff. I don't condone, affairs or anything like that. But there is something inside of me that just because it never happens to men, it just, it's always the woman that's, ends up being the victim in a lot of situations, and they don't get their moment in life where they're empowered, and then they get their midlife crisis, and then they can just do whatever the hell they want and call it a midlife crisis. I like where you're going with your show, and I think that it sounds like a great time. And can you please tell everybody again where to find you, where they can come see your show?
Okay, so you can come to milflifecrisis.com. You can go there and get information. And you can also go to, Toronto. I have a show on May 7th at the Social Capital Theater, Sunday,
great.
May 7th. And I also have MILF Life Crisis at the studio at Meisner Park in Boca Raton on Mother's Day Eve. And that's, again, you can go to milflifecrisis.com to get the ticket information. And, and then I have the show MILF and Cookies. I am already getting booked. I'm doing MILF Life Crisis in Green Bay to open hunting season, just to let you know. Just
hunting season for men, of course.
For men. So the hunting widows get something to do.
Or women. Let's not leave out lesbian MILFs.
That's right. Right, exactly. The hunters who are lesbian or women. Huntresses. I get you. Huntresses. That's right. May I share with you the role reversal thing that I think you will love?
Yes.
I almost I was getting called in by a production company because they were like, we want to give you a reality show, like a MILF Life Crisis thing, a hybrid Amy Schumer meets, the Real Housewives. And I was like, oh my God. It was because MILF Life Crisis, it's a clarion call. It's a clarion call. We're still sexy, and so there's a lot of momentum. And because at the time I was dating a man who was a little bit older, and I was saying, or what it felt, or what the universe was showing me, is that we get to a part in our lives where we're confident, where kids are out, they're out,
Yeah.
you know, and you're confident. And then you go, like, I basically was a guy that I had been in a play with a million years ago. And then we found each other again. We were both divorced a million years later. And I was like Sam from Cheers. And, you know, and I was like, all like, we should have a sleepover. And I was like aggressive and confident. And he was like, you know, you know, and he was, and it was like such a role reversal because he was being sweet and pious. And I was all like, let's just, you know, hit the hay, kid. You know, like, yeah, it was so sweet. Yeah.
Well, it is so true. I love it. And it's empowering. I think women need to be encouraged in that way. And I think that your show is going to be a great way to get the blood pumping over in Boca. So go check out her show. And then in the meantime, people can also follow you on social media. And where can they find you there?
So it's at Anne Marie Scheffler on Insta and TikTok and Facebook and everything, at Clearly Blonde and Twitter. Are we allowed to do Twitter anymore? I don't know what's going on with Twitter.
Yeah, I know. So, I know, right?
I don't know how to say that.
Sure. People are on Twitter. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, for sure. I would, I'll hashtag and tag and everything.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited for you to be at Studio at Meisner. It's such a great venue. I'm really happy for you. And kill it. You're going to kill it.
Thank you. Thank you. Every year I tell you, May is for MILFs. May is for MILFs.
May is for MILFs. Thank you so much, Anne Marie Scheffler. You are great. We're going to take a break. We will be right back. We're going to do some news and feuds right after this.